So there are two ways to do subtracting fractions with regrouping, okay? So I'm going to show you both ways here. Now the first one, both steps start with making a like denominator, okay? So here we have 4.5 minus 2 6/8. We have two different denominators, 6 and 8, all right? So I want to make my smallest one into my biggest one. Sometimes I can make my big into my small, but I can always make my small into my big. So I'm going to trade this one out. I'm going to do my equivalent fractions equation, write what I know. I know I have 4.5. I know I want to be equal. I know my whole number is going to stay the same, and I know I want my denominator to be 8. Then I think, if I know I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, so if I multiply 2 times what gives me 8, 2 times 4 gives me 8, so that's what I multiply the top by. 1 times 4 is 4, so now I have 4 and 4/8. So my new equation is 4 and 4/8 minus 2 and 6/8. Well, this is kind of like subtracting where you have 4/8 minus 6/8. You can't just flip it. You can't just do 6/8 minus 4/8 just like regular subtraction. So you're going to have to do some regrouping here. So, because you can't do 4 minus 6, okay? So one way to do this is by making this into an improper fraction. There's a strategy for making it improper. It's called the MAD strategy. It stands for multiply, add, denominator. What you do is you multiply 4 times 8, you add 4 plus 4, and then you put your denominator on the bottom. So 8 times 4 is 32, add 4 is 36. So this number as an improper fraction is 36/8. Now I'm going to do this one, multiply, add, denominator. So 8 times 2 is 16, add 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I put that 22 over the denominator, 22/8. Now I have a big number minus a small number. Now I'm good to subtract. Okay, so 36 minus 22. A lot of times it's easier to go off to the side to do that. 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I have 14. So that equals 14/8. Now the last step is to make it back into a proper fraction. Okay, so 14 divided by 8. So a great strategy for that is divide remainder over denominator. Okay, so 14 divided by 8. 8 goes into 14 one time with a remainder of 6 out of 8. So that is our final answer. This can also be simplified into 1 and 3/4. I'm going to do the same problem, but I'm going to use the other strategy with regrouping. So the problem 4.5 minus 2 6/8. I'm going to start the same way by making this into a denominator of 8. So my new mixed number is 4 and 4/8. I'm going to rewrite it, 4 and 4/8 minus 2 and 6/8. Okay. So now again, I can't do 4 minus 6, so I'm going to have to regroup. So I'm going to take a whole away from here and make this into 3 wholes. I'm going to turn that whole into a fraction equal to a whole, 8/8. And then I'm going to add that to the whole to the fraction that's already there. 8 plus 4 is 12 over 8 minus 2 and 6/8. Now I can subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. 12 minus 6 is 6. 8 stays the same. So again, just like before, I still get 1 and 6/8 as my answer, which still reduces to 1 and 3/4 also. So that is how you subtract fractions when you regroup. You have two strategies that you can choose from to help you there.